Hi there, dance studio owners, and welcome to a brand new episode of the Transform My Dance Studio podcast with CEO and founder of the Dance Studio Owners Association, Clint Salter. As you may have heard, we have just opened the doors to our Dance Studio Owners Inner Circle, and we are celebrating by bringing you something extra special on this podcast. During this special series of Dance Studio Doctor, join Clint as he workshops innovative ideas and solutions around student attraction and retention, finances, building your dream team, expanding your dance studio empire, reigniting your passion for business, and so much more. You're going to love this fly-on-the-wall insight into our coaching sessions. And if you'd like more information on joining us inside the Dance Studio Owners Inner Circle, make sure to check out dsoa.com/inner circle. Now, let's welcome this week's special guest.
Hey, Michelle, how are you?
I'm good, thank you.
It's good. Tell me what's going on. How's the studio? How's life?
The studio is going really well. I'm in I've gone into my 7th year, which is crazy to think.
Time flies.
It really does. So I feel like now all the programs and everything that I dreamt of having are now in place.
Yeah.
And the only extra thing that I'm adding in this year is the shop. So I've just done some renovations to start a little in-house shop to sell some merchandise and uniforms.
Awesome.
But with with full-time, the implementation of the full-time course, which I do love, you know that's my...
I know that's your thing.
It takes up a lot of my time. So I've kind of hit that, and I like that it takes up a lot of my time. But I'm kind of at the point where I'm feeling burnt out, and I feel like I'm not actually getting to... I also really love working on the business too, but I'm not getting to enjoy the teaching of the full-time, the mentoring. And I don't get to enjoy, working on the business or the things that I learn within the inner circle. So I just feel like I'm just stretched to the max.
Yeah.
So...
And so what do you tell me kind of like what you're thinking, like any ideas that you're kind of thinking that you need to do or what do you think?
So I feel like I need to hire somebody else. I mean, I've already got an admin team of 3 that do certain tasks, Doffy and accounts, and I've got a preschool manager. I've sort of sat down with them the last couple of days and really gone through what they do, the tasks and the tasks that I feel like I need to give up. So I am toying with maybe a virtual assistant, someone online possibly. I'm not sure whether it's someone I need to get in-house.
Right. So I think you're definitely moving in the right direction, like having the conversations with the team members, because the first thing you need is transparency across what everyone's doing, right? Yes. So when you think of your kind of core team of 3, like what are they each doing? Where is their time being allocated? What tasks are they working on? And then also doing the same for you. So have you done like a good kind of like 3-month audit of like where your time is being spent?
I wouldn't say I've done 3 months. I've started, I think there's a pro class recently, the unique ability spreadsheet.
Yeah, that was with Mike. Yeah.
So I did start to do that at the end of last year.
Awesome.
And I spent the last sort of couple of days trying to add to that.
Yeah.
And it's just, I think I'm just getting stuck in not all low tasks, but I just feel like I really need, because of the full-time, I really need to delegate, like management of my email address, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. And so the first thing you've got to get clear, and the reason I say 3 months is because that gives you, every 90 days we can do like a 14-day audit, right? Because that's going to give us like a good amount of things across a year span. But any time that you're looking at a hire or a new hire or, offloading a bunch of things into existing team, that 3-month view will give you just a good amount of data for you to make better decisions on what this person actually needs to do. And so going through unique ability, like from Mike's Pro class, it's a really good idea because that funnels through, the things that you're competent at, the thing that is your zone of genius, the stuff that you hate doing, that you're not competent at, that someone else needs to be doing, all of that fun stuff. So I would definitely go through that as the filter and really look at those things that you're doing. And I would break it up into daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly. So if you look at like your role as the CEO of the studio, what are the things that you're, constantly doing, right? Because our roles don't shift and change too much. It's mostly the same stuff, right? That we're working on. And so look at those things and see what you just want to pull across so that you end up with and don't think about who's doing it. I won't find that person. Don't question any of it, but move as much across to this other column for now so that you have a column of like awesome Michelle stuff, right? So stuff that you really want to work on and do as your role, as the CEO in the business. And then from this other list that you have, I would start breaking it out into 1s, 2s, and 3s of ones are things that you definitely don't want to be doing. 2s are things that you kind of, I don't really want to be doing it, but I'll do it if I have to. And 3s are like that next level of it's not bad, but it's not my favorite. Because what you'll start to see then is just those 1s you want to get off your plate right away. And maybe those 1s could be things that could go to your existing 3 people, or maybe they're things that could be for this new hire, which could be a virtual, personal assistant or executive assistant. It sounds like what you might need is an executive assistant.
Yeah, I do, because then probably the one thing that I want to bring in that I think I need is, because I'd love to sort of take a couple of afternoons off the studio because I'm there all day. So there's at least 3 days a week where I'm there for 12 hours a day, and I feel like that's kind of sucking the life from me too. And my focus is pulled, so I don't feel like I get to really sit down.
Yeah.
I'm distracted a lot because I do love to go in and check what they're doing in the studio.
Sure.
And give them my 2 cents worth.
Yeah.
But the after school program is something that I'm still really passionate about, and I still want to make sure that that's running really well. And last year I loved having a head of preschool because the whole program ran so well. It was really smooth. All the events were done. I rocked up to the concert. I didn't have to do anything. So I loved that experience.
Yeah.
So I do also want that with the after school program.
100%.
Yeah.
I think that is, I think that is an awesome idea because that frees you up. And then you're essentially kind of like multiplying yourself in a way, right? Then you don't have to go and spot check all the classes, and you don't have to do all those things. You have a direct report that you're working with, and then you two are in communication and they're running the department.
Yeah. So that is someone more in-house, isn't it?
That is. If you're looking for someone to essentially manage the after school program like that, I'd want someone that's on site.
Yeah. Okay.
If you're wanting someone that's going to check your emails and, do bits and pieces for you and do this, pull together this document and write up this email and those types of things, that would be an executive assistant.
So I want that too. Because I feel like that's where I go.
Right, totally. But you can get an executive assistant that's based in an Australia-friendly time zone and can do 10 hours a week for you, or no less than 10. You don't want anyone less than 10 because they can't do anything. But 10 to 20 hours a week. Bring someone on board that's virtual that is an executive assistant. So you can advertise on Upwork would be a great place for that, or locally in Australia, seek.com.au, and find someone that is, wants, and it could be an awesome mum that wants some work to do, because that executive assistant relationship, that type of person, like they know a lot about you. They'll find, that you want to really trust that person. Obviously you want to trust all your team members, but to be able to let go to someone of all of these things, like it's a very special relationship that you've got to have with them.
It is, yeah. And that's why I haven't given up my email inbox yet, because it's finding that person that you can trust to go in there.
Yeah, and work, and it might be someone, it could even be someone that does live locally, but they work virtually, and maybe like once a week they come and sit with you for 2 hours at their house, and you like go through emails and, as you're going through that training process, or they come to the studio. I mean, it's so individual around what people want in this kind of executive assistant role. But I would suggest that you get someone that, because people, and I know some of our studio owners who have got like senior students, that have graduated or whatever. And so while they're at university or college, like they're becoming like their executive assistant. But my suggestion is that you find someone that has been an executive assistant, because I've made the mistake of bringing in an executive assistant that hasn't been an executive assistant, and it's very tricky.
And I think I want someone that's not going to leave.
Exactly, and that's,
or that will be around for a bit longer.
Right, and that's why kind of like not going for someone like younger who has wants to like conquer the world or go on to other things. You might find a awesome mum who like is now looking for work because her kids are a little bit older, who wants something stable and wants to be a part of something incredible, like like being part of a dance studio, and can, and a great executive assistant, if you want this, will be able to like manage you, in your time. And so being protective of your time, and then you might get to the point where your team is scheduling calls, saying to your executive assistant, hey, I need a call with Michelle, or I need a meeting with Michelle. And this is like maybe like phase 2 or 3 of the journey, but they start to get really in tune with you and what you like and what you don't, and when you take calls and when you don't. And so building that with someone is extremely valuable.
Yeah. I do find I need someone almost to manage me. I've worked hard on my productivity, but sometimes just having someone to remind me, make that phone call, do this, you've got to bring that.
Right. And a good executive assistant will manage, like if you guys are using Asana or like a project management tool, like they can manage your tasks in there and say, hey, like this is due today. What do you want me to do? How can I help you? Right. If you get a really top-notch person, they're going to be able to like really think ahead and be able to like pick up the slack. Because they're really a great executive assistant is just an extension of you.
Yeah, I think that's what I need. What would I expect to pay for? Like, what would be that?
Yeah, look, it's dependent. I mean, are you thinking like someone part-time, like bringing someone on like 20 hours to start, or like 15 hours, or?
Yeah, I kind of feel like that. Yeah, around the 15 hours would probably be good.
Yeah, I mean, I'd probably be looking at around like $30 an hour for someone like that is good.
Yep.
Okay. And then it'd go up to about 50. I know like top ones are about 80. Yeah. And so just to kind of give you, there's different scale there, but you've also got to think about people are willing to take less pay if there's the flexibility, they can work from home, so yeah, you want to think about like the perks of having the role as well. Okay, But I think if you go lower than 30, it's going to be a bit more hand holding.
Yeah, right. No, I don't have time.
No, that's the thing. Like you need, like and I know you, and so I would suggest that like you go for an A player, right? Like an A player has been an EA. You're going to need to work with them and spend time with them so they can get to learn you as a person. and what your expectations and what you like and all of those types of things. And they'll build a Bible. Like if I think of my assistant Tiffany, you know, she has like the Bible of, you know, Clint, which is like, I like the aisle seat. I don't like being near an elevator in a hotel, like all of that stuff. Right. So she keeps building as I keep sharing things with her, you know, I go in and see like all of the stuff that's in that now. And you want, you know, and you want that, and that, you know, and that the relationship obviously grows over time. But I would go for an A player, because they're worth people like, oh, but you know, I don't have that money. But an A player, let's say you're paying like $30 an hour, like they'll work like triple the speed that someone getting like $20 or $25 an hour would work. Right. Yeah. So they should be high on productivity, and they'll be getting a lot done with their hours. And so they're not really more expensive at all. And they're essentially free because it's going to free you up to be able to do the activity that will generate income, that will, you know, help you know, because you'll be mentoring the team, you know, you'll be doing the stuff that lights you up more.
Yes. I do need to get back there. So do you think I should do what you suggested and still do that 3 months first, or is this something that I can?
Well, you can go back and look at like the stuff that you've been working on, like go through emails, go through your calendar and just start like documenting like the different, you know, like the different things that you've been doing. If you don't have something set up now for you to be able to check, like just go back and think about the things that you have worked on. Right. Yeah. Oh, and I did that and I did that and I did that and I did that. And just create that kind of list. But no, don't wait. Like, it's not like 3 months from today, start tracking and then in 3 months find the person. No. Just look back on those 3 months. Look at kind of what you do in your role. And I would just, I do it like in the notes section in my phone, like just because I do it every 90 days for 2 weeks, for 14 days. I'm just in my phone, like, writing down the things that I'm doing. And so I would just have a note file, which is like stuff Michelle does, and like go through and just keep adding to it. And you probably will want to like give yourself maybe like a week to do it, to like reflect back and kind of look. And then from there you can create, okay, these are the things I want off my plate. And then when you bring on any new role, whether it's an EA or an ops person or whoever, you know, I always like to create a plan of like 30 days, 60 days, and 90 days. So you take their job description. What do I want them to accomplish in the first 30 days, and then the next 30 days, and then the next 30 days? So you have a 90-day plan for them, because the mistake I always made until, you know, about, 18 months ago was I brought someone on and I was like, right, you should know how to do everything in a week. And then I was like, oh, that doesn't work. I actually need to give you more time. And so that 90-day period and like having the phases. So phase 1 is the first 30 days. This is what I want you to do, right? Then the next 30 days. So by after 90 days, you know, they've got a lot of, they kind of know you. They're working actively on helping you. You know, they're at a good point at 90 days. It's really a good 12 months before anyone is like, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a good 12 months. Because we take for granted all of the stuff that we know, all of the stuff that we do. And so, and this has happened with every hire that I've brought into the business. And I have learned really over the last 18 months that like, it's going to take a lifetime for someone to get everything out of my brain. And so, you know, just being more patient has really been the key to our success from a team perspective.
Right.
Yeah. But I will say, don't rush into hiring. Make sure that you follow the hiring funnel in Inner Circle and really take your time finding the right person.
Okay.
That's key. And you can obviously like post in the group and stuff when you've got questions.
Yeah.
But yeah, that would be my advice. Because like you said, you want this person to be around for a while.
I do.
Yeah, it's an important role. Yeah, and like I said, it's an extension of you.
Yeah.
You really want someone that's an extension of you. And so that's, that's really important.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you.
Okay, so tell me, what are your 3 action steps? What are you going to do?
Well, obviously keep writing down what I do.
Yeah.
Keep focusing on what my role is, and then probably still look at my team and see what else they can take on and if they want to take on anything. And then I guess, to be quite honest, I've never used the hiring funnel. I've never had to for my admin staff because they're just people that have popped up, Kaylee, my Doffy, who also does my invoicing, she popped up too, and it's a perfect team at the moment. So that'll be interesting for me to do. So I'll start looking at that hiring funnel.
I'm excited for you because I think this will definitely alleviate that feeling of like exhaustion and like I'm over it and I'm burnt out. Like that. Because that's not you, but it's all of us at some point. Do you know what I mean? Like it happens and it will continue to happen. And I know for me, whenever I'm feeling like that, I go back to this process. Okay, where am I spending my time? And I always look to my team first of like, how are my team operating? Can I pass things over to people we already have? Because that's the easiest option. Yeah. And then I look at, okay, no, do we need to bring someone back in so that I can get back to joy? Because the most important thing as a business is that the owner has joy, because that whatever the owner is going through filtrates in a small business, just filtrates throughout the whole company.
Yeah, I need to get the momentum back.
Yeah, and you'll get it back when you have help, so that then you can focus on the stuff that like you really enjoy.
Yeah, that's exciting. Yeah.
I'm excited for you, and I want an update. So please, post in the group, reach out to me, let me know if you can't find the hiring funnel. Just let us know. We'll send it across to you.
Shall do.
Awesome, my friend. So nice to see you.
You too.
Good to talk to you.
Too. Thanks.
Bye. Take care. Bye, Michelle. Bye.
We hope you loved this sneak peek into our Inner Circle live coaching calls as much as we did. And the great news for you is that the doors are now open to join the Dance Studio Owners Inner Circle. The bad news? They are only open for a very limited time. So if you're ready to take your studio to the next level and join us at these live retreats, make sure to apply for the Dance Studio Owners Inner Circle today at dsoa.com/inner circle. We would love to welcome you to the Inner Circle tribe so you can grow the studio of your dreams and get your life back.